just fits. Hello! It's been a long time since I've filmed anything. So I've been sent a Ninja Speedi to review, but not for here, it's actually for a blog post. But I just thought, you know what, this is the first ever Ninja I've ever owned. I thought I'd do an unboxing and just do some random tests over the next few weeks and just see how I get on with it. Now, it was a minefield trying to figure out which Ninja to go for. If you go on Facebook groups, I were asking which models can I fit a whole chicken in and all this, that. And so many people said, get a Ninja Foodie. Well, most of them are called Ninja Foodie. So if you're new to this kind of market, it just went way over my head. I looked and looked for loads of different models, and the reason I decided to go for this one after watching quite a few videos is because I love the idea of cooking two things at the same time, having pasta in the base and air frying something at the top. Now, this isn't my normal kitchen, this is actually my parents', and at the moment we're in the middle of houses and we're on a narrowboat with a tiny kitchen. So when I cook pasta for my husband, I have salad and we'll cook some protein like chicken, other meats. It's a pain in the backside to cook pasta in a separate pan. So that's why I thought, right, I love the idea of this because he can have the pasta at the bottom, rice, whatever. I can have the meat at the top and I can still do my salad. But it has a lot of other features that sold it for me, like an air fryer. I watched one of those QVC style videos that's available at the moment. It's not QVC, I can't remember, but it's an American shopping channel video on YouTube. And I love the idea of a steamed cake, where the cake was a lot bigger. Now, I don't know if it's going to do that. I'm going to compare it anyway later on. What else? Steams, steam bake as I mentioned, steam air fry, speedy meals, grill. Hopefully I can ditch the George Foreman grill that we've got. Bake slash roast, dehydrate, sear, saute and slow cook. Anyway, let's get it open. One thing I have noticed compared to the American version is that there's something missing here, and it's something called sous vide. I've never heard of that. Tell me what it is, but it's not on here. The last one is slow cook. So first impressions, a lot of people said it was quite big and heavy, and I don't think it's that bad. I've had bigger multi-cookers anyway, but yeah, maybe I just assumed it was going to be really heavy from what I've heard. And the extension cable is probably, I'm going to say 60 centimetres, or no, maybe 70, let's say 70. The other thing I've noticed is you can't really have it underneath a wall unit, because it stops. So you're going to have to make sure it's nice and clear. Oh, that's going to be irritating. That won't be irritating on a narrowboat because we've got nothing above it, but it would be in the kitchen. So a standard UK kitchen counter is about 600 deep. You'd have to have it over the edge, just touching, to try and keep it away from a wall unit. Also, I'm curious what comes with it, because nothing else was in the box, so I'm assuming it's all in here. And by the way, I did see so I've got a little cookbook there. It's made out of paper, so you don't want to get that ruined and wet. But there's a few recipes we could try. And I've heard about the build your own meals, which I'm probably going to use the app for, but I think this is, yeah, for the Speedi ones where you choose a base, which might be rice or whatever at the bottom. You can have your air fryer rack at the top to put your proteins. Oh, you can put vegetables in the bottom as well. And then just build something to your own tastes. So we'll try that at some point. Oh, and the other thing is, for the menu at the front, turned left should be on the left section, right should be the grill and all that on the right side. So let's get some packaging out. Is the cooking part. Oh, and this. Oh, that is quite stuck there. I think that's quite spacious. I could definitely do a meal for 4 people if I wanted in there, but there's just 2 of us and a dog who likes to eat our food. So up to 4 litres measured there, or 8 cups. I doubt you can see that because I can barely see that. Oh, see some measure lines there. So that'd be useful if you're adding water, you don't want to use any measuring cups. And it's a nice non-stick. There's also these recessed sections here because you can use this as a air fry rack at the bottom, like that, but pull it out. Probably need some kitchen tongs for that when it's hot. You can pull these feet out. That one. Oh no, just push it further. And then those Reese's pieces, put it in, and then you can cook something at the bottom with water and then air fry it at the top. I think I'll be able to get whole chicken in there if I wanted as well. And that was another reason I wanted this model. And let's turn it on. So just as I thought, the switch here, it's on right, it's on the right hand side. Hopefully it'll go to the left. Yeah. Rapid cook or air fry / hob. Okay. The other thing I really want to know is whether I can fit some cake pans in here. And it was also difficult to find out which actually fitted in this machine because I want to buy some accessories for it and I couldn't see, just couldn't tell on Amazon. But something that's going to help is, I mean, this is all new to me, it might not be new to you, but there's a few accessories here that can go onto the shop. So I do plan to get a few things, silicone containers, a multi-purpose tin, this cooking pot, I don't know what extra that's going to do compared to this one, a loaf tin, oh, a roasting rack insert, didn't know that existed. But as for the cake pan, I mean, everyone's got a cake pan, so I've brought mine just to see. This is a 9-inch cake pan, so let's have a look. I brought one with a quick release, and yeah, it goes in. I'm happy with that. So the very first recipe I want to do, I've been dreaming about this for months, is to make some air fried pizza rolls or pizza buns if you're up north in Yorkshire. Now normally I would do it from scratch and it's such a fun recipe, but it takes a while. So I've decided just to go out to Tesco, get some ready rolled pizza dough, make it simple, some pizza sauce, some pepperoni, and yeah, I've been thinking about like one of those Danish cinnamon rolls, and I'm going to put it in here, and if it works out I'm leaving it at my parents so they can have it for tea. Now I've had an air fryer for quite a few years and it's in storage at the moment, I can't find it, but I've never made a pizza in it that I remember. So I don't know how it's going to go. I'm thinking I'm going to spray this with Fry Light, then to be safe put a liner in there and then put all of my dough in there. Obviously this is a much dearer way to do it, but I'm doing it to be quick, and I'm using 400 grams of Pizza Express pizza dough. Make your own if you have time, it's cheaper. Now my husband seems to think he's read that we need to burn off the initial chemicals on here, so we're preheating it, or whatever you want to call it. Right. I'm going to add some mozzarella. Pepperoni, I think. Right, now this is the art, rolling it. Okay. I might fancy some more cheese on there. We're going to go for 180 Celsius on this, so let's lower it to that. Now normally I would bake this for 35 minutes. I'm going to go for 20 and check it and then see how we get on. So it's been about 12 minutes so far. Let's have a quick peek just to see how it's going. Wow, look at that. In fact, it looks almost done. It does look nice. So that's what the base looks like. That's the golden top. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try the inside bit where it could be raw. It's a little bit. I think the temperature needs to be lower and cook for longer. Not quite right. So that recipe needs some fine tuning. I'll do that off camera. But it's now about 8:15 at night. We're back on the narrowboat. You can see this is quite a small kitchen. And that is why I decided I wanted something where I didn't have to juggle with loads of pans. And I want to test what it's designed for, doing a rapid meal. But instead of using their recipes, I want to test something that I made a couple of years ago that we loved, which is called a spicy sausage pasta. It's a spicy sausage one-pot wonder, basically. But this, I can sear the garlic and onions, then cook everything at the bottom, but instead of searing the sausages, I'm going to air fry them at the top. I just automatically assumed that rapid cooker, a speedy meal would be one set time and temperature, but this book is implying no. So there's a pasta dish here that it says to cook at 190, so we'll change the temperature of that, and 15 minutes. So I'll change that. And then, hopefully, I'll just click start and it'll work. So while that is doing its thing, I may as well just do some washing up as I go. We don't have a dishwasher on here, unfortunately, but when we move into the next property, apparently these parts inside are dishwasher friendly. So yeah, I'll be using it. So it's finished. Let's take a peek of what it looks inside. Wow, that sausage looks quite rude over there. But they are very done. In fact, those sausages are much longer than when I put them in. And they look well done. Are they done too much? It was definitely right to go 190, not 200 anyway. They have grown by like at least an inch. But that one... Anyone want to tell me what that looks like? Right, what I want to do is chop this up. I've no idea what it looks like underneath yet, but this needs chopping up anyway. In fact, shall we just take a peek? Let's have a look. I'm hoping it was enough moisture. So that is the consistency that I want, but is the pasta cooked enough? That's a good sign, that's a good sign. Oh, that is bang on. Right, I'm going to chop this up. There's a recipe link to this below, but it does serve 2 people. So if you want to, you're going to have to double it or whatever for more. I think with this version, add a bit of cream. I think I'll just add maybe about 2 tablespoons or something like that. It's the next morning and I've got a hankering for a good croissant. I'm cheating with a Just Roll canned croissant. Now the last time I tried these in the oven, it was a flop anyway. It wasn't quite the same as the frozen ones. Rah. So I gave it 8 minutes, checked on it, it looks a little bit pale, and I gave it 2 more minutes, and actually, I tell you what, they are bigger than the ones that I did on my birthday in the oven. Let me show you. I'm feeling kitchen tongs. They're not as impressive as the ones I get in France, but I think that's pretty good. I'm glad I just put 3 in because they did expand. They're nice and light. The middle one slightly stuck to the handle. Temperature seems to reset each time. And I want 12 minutes. So this is 10 minutes and that is 12 minutes, and I actually prefer these. The next test is going to be a basic pizza. I've preheated it this time. I've had to put it on this paper first because I couldn't put it on the crisper tray because it's a snug fit in the actual pan, so I wouldn't have been able to get it in. And I'm going to try and do this, drop it in without burning myself. I'm trying to not burn myself. I'm going to go for 10 minutes and the temperature was at 160. That's what it was being preheating at. So, give 10. It's been 10 minutes. I did test it at 8. It looked a little bit pale. But, yeah, it's definitely a bespoke pizza. I've tested... Oops, don't burn yourself. It's quite firm there. It'd be interesting to taste, but it's not pretty. I think I'll have to go for a smaller pizza next time. It definitely falls apart in your hands. Maybe oven next time. Now we're going to test Tesco's ready-made chocolate chip cookies. 5 centimetres apart. 160. We've got it for 10 minutes. Start. I'm going to put these in the fridge now so they don't soften too much. Do you want some cookies? Tasty cookies? Cookies, kisses. Biscuits. Oh, nearly. It's like monkey bread. You cut pieces of dough up, let it prove, and then you push it all together. One for the pot, one for my mouth. Yeah, we'll check it 15 minutes, see how it is.
Yeah, his temperament is, I think my first ever game, and you know.
So I think this dog wants some cake, and there's cake just up here. This is coffee and walnut cake. I've baked this in the oven, but I need to make another one for my in-laws tomorrow because we're meeting them. So I'm going to test it in the Ninja Speedi under steam and steam air fry? No, steam bake. Now this is quiet at the moment, but I have been preheating it under bake roast, so it should be about temperature. But this is the mixture. I've mixed it all, put it in. If you do want this recipe, I will leave a link to it below. But the key thing we need to do is add some water. So instead of reading the manual, I've been watching YouTubers. Some say use 3 cups of water. I'm going to use about 2 cups of water because I'm worried that it's going to go a bit too above this crisper tray when it goes in. So this might sizzle. Yep, been preheating. I've got the feet in, so I'm going to put that on. So, there. And I don't want to damage that crisper tray. So that's gone in. I'm going to close this. Now I have been using this a lot off camera. I couldn't be bothered to pick up the camera, to be honest. And I've been using it for all sorts of things. And something that I've learned since doing the air fried pizza rolls, which I've perfected, I'll share that shortly, is that when you look at a traditional recipe like the one in the oven, you need to reduce the temperature by 20% and the cooking time by 20%. Now normally that cake would be gas mark 4. I'm going to go to 150. And I'm going to do it for 30 minutes. I watched somebody else's cake and it looked a little bit too hard at the top. So I want to see how I get on with it. So steam bake, and we're going to click start. So it's just over 25 minutes in. I've already checked it and I've turned the temperature down to 130 because I thought it looked quite brown. It's not burnt, but it does look a little bit on the dark side. But I do want to test quickly to see if it comes out clean. That is done. Well, let's just... Might be on another area, it might be gooey. No, that came out clean. And it's got a nice rise as well. Oh, can't get in there. Spongy. Yeah, I think it's time to take that out and put it on a cooling rack. So steamy, it makes your hair wet. I've just been in the shower. But look how it bounces. I'd do that again. It was quicker. So I've got some buttercream I'm putting on and a sprinkle of crushed or chopped walnuts. I think that was a winner. So today I am about to test the slow cook setting. This is beef stew. Everything's in. I've seared it all first. Let's turn it on. We'll go for high. Time is going to be 3.5 hours. Oh, no it's not. Time is going to be 4 hours. That's the minimum it goes. Let's see how it turned out.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nice and thick. Yeah. Right, it's ready to eat. So far I've tested most of the functions apart from steam air fry, which I didn't feel any need to, and bake roast because I think the air fryer did all that I needed. And I didn't show you me using the dehydrating setting, which I now use to proof pizza dough, and it gives a very superior pizza crust. So you've probably gathered that I really like it, but what don't I like about it? Well, one thing that really bugs me is when you're baking or cooking something and you want to just give it a few minutes more, the temperature resets, and I think that can catch you out probably if you wanted to bake a cake. You might accidentally bake it a little bit longer on a much higher temperature. The other thing that does bug me a little bit, and I really should get one of those contraption things to lift it out, is occasionally these feet do collapse, they fall in. So when you want to put it back and you're trying to carry it with kitchen tongs, that can be faffy. So that is a price you pay for having 2 levels to it. And speaking of which, sometimes when I want to check the bottom layer while the top is full, it's quite faffy to remove it, check it and put it all back. But what are your thoughts about this machine? Do you think there's a better model out there? This is the first Ninja that I've ever had. And if this is likely to be your first Ninja Speedi purchase as well, hopefully I've helped you make an informed decision. And if you've got any questions about it that I didn't answer, let me know below and I'll do my best. Oh, and cleaning, I just give this a basic wipe every time I remember after a few uses. And it's quite simple, but I've never unscrewed this to get below. Okay, bye.